What is up, Drum Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news.
What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, talking about something that I think is fairly important, especially for you guys out there who buy from the secondary market. Maybe you spend $30 to $50 a month on Yu-Gi-Oh cards just so that you can keep up with the game. I think there may be some information in this video that maybe you didn't know about, and it might actually save you a decent amount of money. It might even change how you go about buying your cards. And this is just something that I really haven't heard any of the Marketwatch channels talk about or discuss in any capacity for the most part. So I just figured I'd go ahead and make a video about it. And no, I'm not trying to start, drama alert or anything like that, throwing the Marketwatch channels under the bus or, call out any of those channels, because I've been, I guess, at fault as well. I used to do kind of Marketwatch videos back in the past, and I may do one every blue moon, or I'll make a video just specifically about one card and that card's price. And this is something that I've never mentioned. So I think that a lot of people in the Yu-Gi-Oh community are fairly oblivious to this, and it's why I'm making this video, not to start drama or anything like that, just to try and kind of educate people to something that they might not have known about. So what exactly am I talking about? So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you're buying from the two, I guess, biggest free market sites out there when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and those sites obviously are eBay and TCG Player. Those are the sites that pretty much go head to head all the time. I think that they're in direct competition when it comes to attracting buyers and getting us to buy their cards. When you buy from one of them, you have to pay sales tax on every single transaction. That site is tcgplayer.com, and there is no sales tax on eBay. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, Cap G, that's your big reveal. I already know about that, despite the fact nobody talks about that. Or, oh my goodness, Cap G, that's not even that important. Come on, man, I got money coming out my ears. Big baller brand up in this bitch, Cap, get on my level. And for those of you guys who already knew about that, or if you just have money to blow and you've got money coming out of your ears, you wipe your ass with $10 bills, then more power to you. I guess this video is not really applicable to you, but I guess for everybody else out there, I guess I'll continue with my topic. And I think this is really significant, especially when you start buying in high quantities or when you reach over the $50 threshold. People don't really think about sales tax because it really isn't that big of a factor if you're just buying a couple of comments. If maybe you're buying a structure deck or a starter deck that's like $10, it might end up being, I don't know, 80 cents or something like that. But when you start thinking about buying 3 copies of Ash Blossom, or you start thinking about buying, okay, do I want to buy the entire invoked core maybe for 90 bucks and then pick myself up some gammas and a couple of Drolan Locks? When you start talking about spending over $100, you're now talking about the difference of maybe $7, $8, $9 if all the card prices are the same. And a lot of times what I see happening is excuse me, the cards will end up being cheaper on TCG marginally, because generally speaking, I see prices across the board are usually cheaper on TCG Player, but it may be 30, 40 cents. And when you actually consider the sales tax that you have to pay on every single purchase, a lot of times eBay ends up being cheaper. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of pictures, and this is stuff that I actually bought for some of my deck profiles. So I was just doing a little bit of shopping the other day, and this is what kind of led me to this topic. I was searching for some Gamma Seals, and I was like, you know what, I'm feeling kind of spicy. I'm going to go ahead and opt for the Super Gamma Seals, because I don't really see Gamma Seals getting power creeped anytime soon. And unless Konami, like turns around and cucks me and prints it as like an ultra rare after this, then I'm like, I think I can get my return on investment for Gamma Seals. If nothing else, it's going to be a good card for some time. And I did a little shopping on TCG Player, and then I also went to eBay. Now, when I found on TCG Player and obviously the prices could change at this time, but it's really not, it's not relevant if the price is different on TCG Player or on eBay right now to this one scenario. The gamma sales were $12.69 on TCG Player. This was the lowest that I could find them, and I was specifically looking for a seller who had multiple copies, so I didn't have to worry about getting them from different sources, and one guy being in California, the next guy being in maybe Tennessee, which is like right next to the state that I live in, the state that borders, obviously. So I found 2 gamma seals from a guy on TCG Player, and it was $12.69, and I was like, okay, well, that's a good price, and it's the lowest that I could find. I went over to eBay and I found the gamma seals for let me see if I can find the price, for $12.99 each. So obviously on eBay they were 30 cents more a pop. So you think, okay, Cap G, well obviously you should buy them on TCG Player because you're saving yourself 60 cents. But when you look at the totals, you notice that the eBay auction or the eBay price is over $1 cheaper. And why is that? It's because of the sales tax, because on eBay I am paying a little more on each of the gamma seals, but ultimately not having that sales tax makes a significant difference. I'm saving $1, even though that I'm paying more per card. You see that sales tax is $1.71, and it's not like I get anything additional. It's not like I get any added benefit. I mean, yeah, I don't want to go into a whole debate about economy, and yeah, the firefighters and the teachers got to get paid, yada yada yada. The point is, by me paying just a little bit more per card, not having to pay that sales tax, I actually saved myself over $1. And this might seem like a really small deal, but again, if you're thinking about buying a lot of cards, if you're thinking about building a new deck, maybe when the Magical Musketeers came out, you looked at the prices of the cards and said, all right, maybe it's going to cost me $200 to buy everything at 3 and to get everything plus, maybe some hand traps or something like that. If you would have spent the same amount on eBay and the same amount on TCG Player, you could be looking at the difference between $15 or $16 for getting the same exact cards. And I just think that that is such a significant deal. And I don't even know if it's reasonable to expect the Marketwatch channels to include this information into their videos for one obvious reason. Obviously, each state has its own sales tax, and what I pay in North Carolina for something might be completely different than what you pay in California. So how is the Marketwatch channel going to include the eBay price plus the TCG Player price plus the sales tax plus what you're going to pay in your state? Like, it'd just be too much of a hassle at that point. So if I was you guys and you really wanted to know if you're getting the best deal, I would just kind of take it upon myself and kind of do what I just did, which is basically just take the items, put them in your cart before you actually pay for the item in checkout. It will show you the price that you're expected to pay, and that will include the sales tax, and then you can kind of compare that to eBay. So in the grand scheme of things, is this the most important information ever in the world? Probably not, but this is something that the more you spend, the more important and the more of a factor it actually becomes. So for anybody out there saying, oh, Cap G just wanting to start that drama, just wanted to make the 10-minute shitty video about nothing important that we already know about. I mean, maybe, but I mean, I didn't really think about it that much, and I do believe that there are a lot of people who aren't thinking about that. Not saying don't shop at TCG Player, because again, I shop there all the time, but just make sure you're not leaving money on the table. Whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. Turn on those notifications for daily videos.